Think of the green brain as being your feeling brain, and the frontal cortex is your thinking brain, because that's just easier to wrap your mind around rather than social emotional. The feeling brain comes online a long time before the thinking brain, obviously. If you want to know the difference between a feeling brain and a thinking brain, simply get two 4-year-olds together. 4-year-olds are generally fully immersed in their feeling brain. They've got some thinking going on, but generally that frontal cortex doesn't come into center stage development until around the age of sort of 7. We're sort of thinking of being 7 to 27 in the frontal cortex, and 2 to 8 being in that limbic system. So obviously there's an overlap there for a year that allows for Piaget stages of cognitive development. Remember that from Teachers College, where we talk about Piaget, we talk about children reaching the concrete operational stage between 7 and 8, and that's when they're ready for formalised literacy and numeracy. So that coincides with when we're talking about the child moving from their limbic system up into their frontal cortex. Yeah, if you want to know the difference between a feeling brain and a thinking brain, get two 4-year-olds together because they're fully immersed in their feeling brain, give one of them a full biscuit and give the other one 2 halves of a broken biscuit. And pretty quickly, you'll see the feeling brain in full action. Because the kid that you gave the broken biscuit to is likely to have a screaming hissy fit. Because from a feeling point of view, he can't understand that 2 halves make a whole. To you, with the logical frontal cortex, that kid's 2 halves make a whole, he's getting the same amount of biscuit as the other kid, there is no crime. But to a feeling brain, you can only see that with emotional terms, because he's in this limbic system. So with emotional terms, he doesn't understand half and whole. He understands you gave the other kid the beautiful biscuit, the perfect biscuit, the complete biscuit. You gave him the ugly biscuit, the broken biscuit, the damaged biscuit. From an emotional point of view, of course he's being ripped off. So that's the feeling brain. That's the same brain you're going to be dealing with in the middle of adolescence because adolescence from a biological or a neurological point of view is this frontal cortex. If it just grew from 7 to 27, then there'd be no such thing as adolescence. So to fit adolescence into that equation, think halfway between 7 and 27, for about 3 years, that frontal cortex is going to be shut for renovations. Now think about what that means for a moment. That means that all the things that a frontal cortex does, control your emotions, see things from other people's point of view, regulate your behavior, these are not things teenagers are famous for, because these are things that you're going to go backwards in. That frontal cortex is going to be shut for renovations, and so that means the teenager is going to be forced back down into that limbic system. Yeah, so that same brain that you wouldn't deal with the broken biscuit, wouldn't accept the broken biscuit, that's the same brain you're going to be dealing with when your 16-year-old who is a size 10 doesn't want to go to school because they're too fat. That makes no sense to you with a logical brain, because you can't be a size 10 in fat. That's a contradiction in terms to a logical brain. Size 10 is skinny. But it's understanding that for that teenager, 90% of her reality is in the social, emotional, feeling brain. 90% of her reality is based on the fact that she feels fat.